How did it feel?
Say it again.
How did it feel the first one back?
Good. Obviously, just felt great. Getting in the team setting, same plays in the huddle, breaking a huddle, getting my eyes on the defense, and then just playing. So felt really good.
Was there a time during this process where you felt like you were just needed to add a schedule?
Honestly, they gave me a plan. We all sat down, had a plan, and we just stuck to it. And it was just get better every single day. Once we start throwing, here's the set of throws we got. Here's the amount of volume. Here's the intensity, and then just work your way up. See how you feel after every throwing session, and then just go from there. So there's never been a time in my mind where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be here. I've taken it literally one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and thankful to be where we're at. So
the process was never accelerated at any point? It was just a plan that you worked?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, right after surgery, it was do the simple things. And then once I got my range of motion back, it was all right, we got a throwing program coming up. Here's how we're going to ease into it and go from there. So we had, like I said, all the doctors. I just want to thank, first of all, Keith Meister, Keith Coker, Ryan Donahue, Ben Peterson, Dustin Little, all the guys here, everyone that's been in the process, Tom Gormelli, Will Hewlett in Florida. Thank you, all the guys. They all played a huge part. We all sat down and had just a great plan. And so shout out to all those guys. And like I said, never jumped ahead of schedule or did anything and try to do anything out of the ordinary. We had really great advice from all those professionals along the way, and slowly got to where we're at and still have a plan to continue to carry out. It's not we made it and we threw and practiced, it's over. We still have some stuff to do. So
At this point, is there anything physically that is bothering you, or do you feel like there are any limitations on what you can do out there on the field?
No, I feel like I'm good enough to play an 11 on 11 football, and so we talked about that when I got back here with Shanahan, and basically I told him, I'm like, hey, I feel good enough and confident enough that if I got into an 11 on 11 situation, I can make every throw, and so that's the conversation that we had, and they gave me the green light to go out there and go, and obviously the medical staff told them, and they've been with me this whole time throwing in the off season. They gave Shanahan the green light to, hey, he's good enough to do it, and they've seen me throw. So we've all been on the same page the whole time. But, yeah, I feel good enough to play football right now at camp, 11 on 11. Still got to work up volume and just continue to get better every day. So, yeah, all the arm angles and everything, yeah, good. Good.
Told you being sore tomorrow, or is that?
Can you say it again? Sorry.
Do you anticipate being sore, and is that a normal process when you just start camp coming in?
So I've actually worked up to this point, throwing back-to-back days. Have a heavy day of throwing, and then the next day maybe tune it down a little bit. But I've worked up to get to this point to where my arm doesn't hurt or anything like that. Yeah, from throwing and stuff, any quarterback would tell you, hey, I'm going to go ice my arm or do whatever with my arm and do treatment on it. And that's where I'm at. And so, yeah, to answer your question, it's not like killing or anything. I'm not gonna practice tomorrow or this or that. Arm feels great.
Has Shanahan told you that barring setbacks, you will start week 1 against Pittsburgh?
Say it again, sorry.
Has Kyle Shanahan told you that barring any setbacks, you will start week 1 against Pittsburgh?
No, we haven't had any, kind of conversation like that. It's, hey, how can I be great today at practice? Let's get these reps. Let's get the mental reps, and let's continue to grow. Obviously, what we put on tape last year was great and all, but there's still a lot of areas where I have to grow and get better and stuff. So that's just where we're at. We're not trying to get too far ahead of ourselves.
You've obviously played in bigger stages than a Thursday practice in July, but being your first practice back today, what was this morning like for you? Did you have any nerves and anything like that coming into today?
Yeah, I was excited, So obviously end the year like we did last year. It was heartbreaking and everything, and so just go through surgery, rehab, the off season, everything, and missing OTAs, and so just to be able to get out and say a play to my teammates and break a huddle, like for that, like to me, I was so excited just thinking about that, and so it was almost like last night was like Christmas. You're excited for the next day, and so that's how it was for me this morning and everything, and I was excited to get out there. So yeah, toss and turn just with excitement, but. Slept good.
How did you think it went? You had there was a pick early. I know the other circumstances. A couple of times it looked like you really did cut loose. How did you think that all went?
Yeah, there's just some rust I still got to knock off. I didn't get any, obviously, reps and OTAs or anything like that with 11 on 11, 7 on 7, whatever. Just the pace of the game, seeing a defense dropping back, going through reads. So Today it was good just to get out there, go through some reads and stuff, let it rip. Obviously I had the interception, but that's something I'm gonna just go in the film room, learn from it, and get on the same page with BA and continue to grow. And so, yeah, more than anything, I was just excited to be able to get live reps. And so,
Would you say the arm strength is exactly the same as it was when you were?
yeah, I like to think so. Throwing go balls and cutting some balls to the sideline, I feel like I have the strength to get it there just like last year. And so I'm going to continue to try to develop my arm and get it stronger and stronger and go from there. So.
When you went to Jacksonville just a couple weeks ago, what was that process like, and were there certain hurdles that you wanted to achieve on that trip to help you get back to 100%?
Yeah, I think when I left and went there, it was more, hey, I got to pick up the intensity. So with these throws, we might not get a lot of throws like I did back here in San Francisco, but when I go there, let's pick up the intensity. Let's start ripping some stuff. And so that's really what we focused on. And there was days where, man, it was like, yeah, my arm was, fatigued, and I had to just continue to build up my strength when I was in Jacksonville. And so when I left and came back here, I felt like I was in a great spot, being able to throw back-to-back days and all that kind of stuff. So that's really what we focused on, was being able to throw back-to-back days just like practice when we get into camp and into the season and stuff. So definitely, like Tom Gormelli, Will Hewlett, those guys got me right. And when I left, it felt good.
Speaking of those two guys, Tom Gormelli and Will Hewlett, I know you've been working with them for a longer time. What have they meant to your development?
Yeah, I feel like leaving college, going into the NFL last year, I feel like I just had to, obviously improve just whatever, like I needed to develop into a quarterback, like a real true professional quarterback, and those guys did that for me, breaking down my mechanics and how to be efficient with, my hips and my shoulder, everything. And then obviously being able to be savvy as a quarterback. Will did a great job with some drills and stuff to help me get to that point. And so I feel like they were the beginning stages of developing me and getting me ready for, last year, my rookie year. So going back this year, I didn't have a real off season in terms of developing myself just because I was rehabbing my arm. So those 3 weeks away to get back with those guys, we were able to dig into some great mechanics and get me better. And so that's what they did.
Caveat that you haven't had that real off season. How different is it coming in here as QB1 versus last year?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the reps compared to last year, I had, basically 2 reps at the end of each period. So I didn't have that many reps, and then I was able to go into the preseason and get some reps. But now coming in, being able to get a lot more looks on the defense and sort of, take command of the huddle and stuff, like for me, it feels a lot better. I feel more comfortable with the playbook and everything. But being away, not getting the off-season reps and OTAs, I just got to get back into that kind of state of mind where, hey, bullets are flying. I got to go here, here, here with my progression and sort of just get sharp again with that. So, but it feels good.
Today, call for you to take those deep shots.
Can you say that again? Sorry.
Did the script today call for you to take those deep shots down the right sideline, or was that going through your progression?
No, that was just part of the read, depending on what the defense was doing, where I was going to end up throwing. So they gave us some man looks and just let it fly. So.
How much more of the mental side of the game did you do during your rehab, and take us through like just a typical day coming back?
Yeah, obviously you wake up, take all the right supplements for your arm and everything, and then you go and do your rehab, and then you work. So I still worked out my body, did everything just with my body itself, not just my arm. And then I come home and get into the playbook, watch some film, break down stuff that I could have done better last year. Just a couple hours of that, and then still try to do a little bit more treatment after on my arm. And then honestly, like sleep, just getting really good sleep. I know it sounds cheesy, but that I think is a game changer in terms of, getting back from an injury. So I just try to do every little thing right. And then over, the first 2 months, I started seeing like, oh shoot, I feel really good. And so I've just been trying to maintain that and get better. So.
Last one, after those deep throws, do you put the overthrows, do you attribute it to just maybe being a little bit more amped up than usual, or maybe just hadn't had time to work with the chemistry of your receivers?
Yeah, that was for those 2 go balls, one to Juwan and then the other to Debo. I haven't thrown a go ball to them all off season, so I just got to get on the same page with them and everything. Yeah, obviously being out there for my first day, I wanted to let it rip and all that, but it felt good coming out of my hand. I just got to get on the same page with them and get more reps. So.
Immediate aftermath, when we talked to you, you talked about your faith and how that gave you perspective. But I mean, were you part of you scared that you either weren't going to be able to be the same quarterback, you wouldn't have the arm strength? I mean, this would really be a career-threatening injury.
Yeah, for me, it's like I said, however many months ago that was compared to now, it's been the same. I know who I am in God and in Christ, and I'm not going to let any other kind of circumstance, if I'm the starting quarterback or the backup or whatever, I'm not going to let that determine, who I am as a person. And so, that's what my identity is in, and there's nothing, that can come my way to get me to act a certain way and think I deserve this, I deserve that. I am, who God has called me to be, and I let everything else fall into place. So,
Thank you.
thank you.